want to tell you that this is where her body landed. And that man, he's also an imprint, walking back and forth. There's too much violent energy around here. I'm being told about something to do with water.
Wow.
Tell me a little bit about, like, that night. You came in from your gig, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what'd you do?
I came in, and I was getting ready for bed because I was just tired. Turned off everything, and all of a sudden, I hear water running. So I got up, went to the bathroom. That faucet was on. So I turned the faucet off. And I didn't think nothing of it, went back to bed.
Okay.
Well, not long after that, I heard water again. Same faucet, running hard. So I turned it off, but I still didn't really think anything of it. And finally got sleepy again. And this time, it woke me up. It was full force water, and the lights, those lights were blinking.
Wow.
And at that time, I was like, something is definitely in here, and so I left.
I feel so uncomfortable. Just as you're talking, I feel like all of a sudden I'm getting these pains in my shoulders and achy, and it's like something's trying to pull on me. Like I feel like my knees are gonna buckle. Oh, I feel like weak in my knees. Okay, let me just tell you. There was definitely a death here. Trying to get my bearings. I hear people screaming, running. You're not gonna believe this, but there's a lot of water coming through the town. This is way more water than any rainstorm could ever produce.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this older lady that I've been seeing all day, I see her. She lived down the road, that not even a mile away. She was sleeping in her bed, nice and cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Her son is in the next room. All of a sudden, she's whisked out of bed. She was swept away in that flood.
Oh, no.
Something broke, like a barrier broke. The lady she didn't even have this much to think about her future. Because she moved here for her future. I see boxes everywhere. Like she just moved into this town, and she only moved in, I'm being shown, the day before. This family was very poor, and they had to go where the money was.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming here because there was no more work where they lived. They were so excited about this move because this was the most money the husband ever made. And so this was like the beginning of their new life.
Oh.
And in one night, not even 24 hours, everything about what they used to worry about and dream about
Mm-hmm.
was swept away.
Wow.
Lady was here one night, and water swept her to her death. And I want to tell you that this is where her body landed.
Oh. So you think it was her that was in the room that night with me?
I know it was her. She definitely was trying to get your attention. It totally makes sense with the water. Like water, the running water. This is what woke her up. This is what woke you up.
That makes sense. So she wasn't trying to hurt me. She was trying to give me a message.
She was. She absolutely was trying to give you a message. This is just a mother who's a family woman who loved her son and loved her husband, and she has a mentality, though, that, you know, we were gonna have a better life. If they didn't work, they didn't eat. And it's kind of similar to what we just said about you.
Wow. So maybe that's where the connection was.
So when I came down to the kitchen and I really was about to leave, and I thought, I've got to deal with this, I've got to get out, and then the oven started beeping and beeping and beeping and wouldn't stop beeping, and I couldn't get it to shut off no matter what I did, and it wouldn't stop. And then suddenly the garbage disposal just started to run on its own. At that point, I felt really trapped, and I thought, I've got to get out, and I called the realtor, and I was on the phone with the realtor, and this beeping seemed to just get louder, and the garbage disposal, it seemed to escalate. Right past the store, there's a panel for the fuse box. So I turned the fuses off.
Right.
And they wouldn't shut off. They wouldn't shut off. I turned the fuses off for the entire house.
Oh my God.
And nothing would shut off. And then I just, at that
like
point,
shaking?
I was shaking. I couldn't stand it in here
my
anymore. It was like
God.
too scary, and I had to get out.
Whatever this energy was, it was trying to communicate with you through all of the electric. And that's another typical sign of the poltergeist activity. There's too much violent energy around here. It's built up to a point where it's tangible, it's real, it has a heartbeat, it has a pulse. I just heard a gunshot. Somebody was shot. This looks like one of those old-fashioned guns. I feel like I was just shot right in my chest, right here. This has something to do with this house and this land. One man, I feel's name is Joe or John, because I see J-O. I really feel there's like some kind of connection between you and these men. I will really try to put it all together for you.
Okay.
Remember what your aunt came through and talked about earlier? She kept talking about this stuff that you shoved and you have it under lock and key.
Yeah.
Well, she said it had to do with when you were younger. Like either you're holding a grudge or you just can't seem to get past.
Maybe it's just I'm trying to protect my own body somehow. Like I always feel like getting stabbed in the back. Anything that's emotional manifests in a physical kind of a pain. And definitely between my shoulder blades, it just feels like there's a spear between my shoulder blades sometimes.
The root of that, where do you think that stemmed from? Because I keep being shown something about, I'm very honest. Sometimes this is not easy for me to do. I don't mean to press, but when you were younger, you never really felt like you were like the other kids. Did they also make you feel that way?
I think it's just that I wasn't really able to express myself properly because I had such a fear of talking and also an inability to understand society or understand other kids. So I was really shunned. I had a very difficult childhood in that regard. I mean, I was bullied a lot as a kid and very kind of
That's what I
alone, and it was, it was terrible.
That's what I feel you have locked in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's locked up.
Oh, yeah. That's certainly, I mean, of course it's there. I mean, I actually sort of refuse to let it go because I feel like letting it go means that it was sort of all for nothing, or, you know, like if you hang on to that suffering, you prove a point in a way.
That's so interesting that you just said that. Okay, I get it. Margaret, that's what this energy was. One man was trying to prove a point to the other, and they're not letting it go. It was a feud. This male wants revenge. He didn't get over it. What I need to explain to you is these teenage kids summoned the spirit, which is causing the poltergeist activity. What a poltergeist activity derives from is they thrive on your repressed emotions. A lot of the times, they find a target, like a host. It was all of your emotions that you refused to let go of, like your badges of honor almost. You were given food for this energy to thrive. You thought it wanted you out.
Yeah.
The energy source needed you. Honestly, it didn't want to let you go. I think this might have been used for something else, either a hospital or another structure. Okay, now I get it.
It could have been a convent.
Oh my God, I can't, you really are a wingman.
I am.
Do you know why? I was just about to say, earlier in the car, I saw a group of women sitting around a table, and they had white uniforms. And I was just going to tell you that I think that young girl is a nun in training. It's as if you took it right out of my brain.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
This is why it's a cover-up. See, she was in training to take her vows.
She wasn't supposed to have that baby.
And guess who the man pacing back and forth is? The father of this baby.
Oh, wow.
And he got this little fixer-up lady. She took care of everything. She makes sure she has a couple waiting for that baby. They're adopting that baby. No questions asked. And that man, that's why he's a nervous wreck. He don't want to be found out. But I want to tell you, I don't feel that you encountered anything that is trapped. This is something called a residual haunting or a residual event. Those type of events can actually replay itself in time, and it goes on a constant loop. You understand? And you walked in on it.
Craziness.
Sometimes you'll go on battlefields where there was a battle, and you'll hear cannons being shot, guns being shot. You'll hear men screaming out in the field. They're not trapped spirits. You're walking into something that happened in time and space. So the lady, the imprint of the lady, this was her job. It happened here. You don't think she's going to be in the wash, with the wash basin, and in the bathroom,
back and forth,
with water,
turning the water on and off.
Exactly. And that man, he's also an imprint, walking back and forth.
Got it.
Because this is what he did. All right? It's an imprint of energy of what happened here. So is this where you found that hidden spot to fall asleep?
Yeah. It's probably around here, I believe. I'm looking for the gray squirrel. Here's the squirrel. Here's the squirrel.
There he is. Well, tell me your story.
Well, I came down here. I was basically here in the corner. I was writing an article about the experience, and I just thought it was funny to sleep beside the gray squirrel. Because it sounds funnier than saying I slept by the moose. Maybe not, but anyways, to me it was funny at the time. See, I was here. I wanted to get some sleep. I don't want to get weird here. I'm going to lie down on the floor. Is that okay? I don't know.
Just be Tom Green.
Okay, so I was lying down like this, right? And I saw this man staring at me. He was in an old pea coat type jacket. And I thought, okay, if I just don't move, then maybe he won't see me here. It looked like a figure in the dark. I felt sheer panic.
Yep.
And I got up and I basically ran. I ran from the building in the middle of the night like a scared child.
And that was it?
That was it.
You never turned back?
Never turned back.
And did you get in trouble?
Got in a little bit of trouble, yeah. In fact, I was surprised they let us back in here today. I thought it was banned. And the article never got published, so apparently it wasn't funny. I submitted it to the local
So what did you
paper.
say? I got chased out by a ghost?
No, no. I didn't want to be looked at as, you know, cuckoo.
Yeah. I just saw something. This is the guy in the pea coat. Hold on a second. He's giving me a name. This guy's name had an A initial, and I'm seeing an L. So it's either Alfred or Alphonse. That's who your ghost was. His name is Alphonse. I'm trying to see if he worked here. Why was he here? I saw the fire again. I just saw him running in the fire, bringing out bodies, and they were like, couldn't breathe, and... Oh, I get it. Okay. This did not happen in this building. This was the Parliament building that he worked in. Okay, I'm getting it now. Hold on a second. The building collapsed on him. Very proud of saving all these lives. He saved a lot of lives, but he said that he died trying.
Oh, my God.
He went in for one more life, and he said, that was the call I should have not made, but he said I'd do it all over again.
That was at the Parliament buildings?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did work for the Parliament, and he came here when everybody moved, thinking that this is still his job, that this is what he needed to do was protect the Parliament. Wait a second. All of a sudden now your grandmother's back.
Okay.
She knows why we're here. She knows what the connection is with this man. So she's weighing in on this. Wait a minute. So now all of a sudden she's showing me. Grandma just told me that you had a few close calls with death. You escaped death at least 2 times in your life.
Does my cancer count as one, or is there 2?
It certainly does. I'm being told about something to do with water.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. First of all, the one I consider my near-death experience, other than surviving cancer, is continue.
Okay, she said, and water.
Yeah.
I saw waves. I saw waves. You were in the ocean? The ocean almost got you, swallowed you up.
Oh my God, wait a minute. You're totally right. Whoa.
I saw you going under. I see something I feel something hard
Oh my God. Yeah.
coming at your body.
Yes.
Like right here.
Uh-huh. I broke these 2 ribs when I was in Costa Rica. I was fishing. I was standing on rocks by myself. I got hit by a massive wave. It threw me off the rocks back onto more rocks. I came down on rocks.
Oh, that's the hard.
Broke these ribs. I was all by myself. I looked death in the face and really had to confront it.
I saw some native helped you.
Yeah, it was a Costa Rican man who took me to the hospital.
That should have been your exit.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know if you're even gonna believe me, but this guy, Al, the night you came here, he kind of took some sort of interest in you because you were the first person who ever saw him. You have a little bit of a guardian angel.
That's unbelievable.
This Alphonse guy, he's been helping you all along.
Yeah.
Alphonse sent that local man to help you get out of there and to save your life. He's really a good guy. He's all about protection, loyalty. You connected. His job was to help people, and he wanted to help you. You may not be here if it weren't for this man at this point. He's been helping you all along.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
When I saw this disfigured man, and I kept seeing this man pacing back and forth, he was on duty. He was on a mission. This guy's not bad.
I'm riveted by what you're saying. Flabbergasted is a good word.